Welcome. My name is Carrie Giletto, and I am one of Heartfelt Creations online educators, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. Today we are going to be making a one-of-a-kind Valentine that is perfect for mailing to your friends and loved ones that live further away. So let's go ahead and switch our camera view, and we will take a look at our project. All right, so there we go. This is our project for today, and I am just going to make sure that I can see your comments. So do pop in the comments and let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. That way I can make sure that everything is just working accordingly. Okay, so here is our Valentine card. And we are going to be using the brand new Friendship Rose collection that just launched earlier this week. And I am so excited to share this collection with you. It is so fun, and I think you're really going to love it. So let's take a look at that collection. All right, so to begin with, we have our Friendship Rose Heart, which is this beautiful heart-shaped frame that has a lot of snippability. So there's lots of ways to just use this either as a heart, or you can make corner pieces. You've got this really pretty piece right here that if you had 4 of them, you could put them on the corner of frames. There's just, my mind just goes crazy with all the different ideas that I can come up with to use this these flowers for. Then you have your 2 individual flowers here that are perfect for putting in vases or in bouquets. And of course we have our matching dies, and on the dies it also cuts out the center, so that's very nice to have. All right, then the next stamp die combination in this collection is our Budding Rose Heart, and it's a similar, but this one's a little bit bigger. It gives you a little bit bigger space on the inside to stamp your greetings, and it just gives you another look, and that's a really pretty piece. And then in this one you have your little flower buds that are great to go along with the other flowers to make your bouquets and put in vases and things like that. So, and of course the matching dies. And one of the things that I really like about this collection is this wonderful friendship sentiment set. It just has a lot of great sentiments, both for the outside of your cards, but some of these I think will work great on the inside of your cards as well. And if you're like me, sometimes it's nice to have some that you can pop on the inside. So this is a really great set to add to the different sentiments that we have. And this next one, are you ready? This is everybody's favorite, I think. This beautiful decorative heart die that comes in the collection. This is a fabulous die. You're all definitely going to want to have this, and once you start playing with it, it just seems the possibilities are endless. And I'm excited to show you some of my samples at the end because I've just had so much fun using this in different ways. So today we're going to utilize this for sure. All right, so to begin, let's go ahead and we're going to stamp out our Friendship Rose Heart, and we're going to be stamping that in olive green today. All right, and then you're also going to take one of the buds. I took the one that's a little bit more open, but it really doesn't matter which one you want to use, but we're going to need one of the bud flowers as well. And you're going to stamp both of those on the flower shaping paper in the olive green. So for my card today, I really wanted to have a very kind of soft, feminine look to my flowers. So I'm going to show you how I achieved that. The other 2 colors that we're going to pull in after the olive are the magenta hue and the vivid chartreuse. Hello, Lucille and Lorna. Thank you so much for popping in there and letting me know that you're here with me. All right, so to begin, we're going to use the triangle-shaped daubers, and this is a kind of a technique that's you're gonna be glad to have this triangle shape, because it really helps you get in and do the flowers and not do the leaves, and then vice versa. When we do the green, it really helps you by having that triangle shape. So we're going to put a little bit of our magenta hue just right in the center, and we're going to very lightly, starting in the center of the flower, just very lightly add some color on there. And you're going to do this to all of the flowers, just very lightly adding some color, starting in the center and working your way out so that the outer petals are a little more pale. You see that? I'm going to raise it up a bit just so you can kind of see what I'm doing there. My camera's really wanting to autofocus. I don't know. I'll stay down here. Maybe it'll stop doing that. Okay. There we go. So we're going to do that to all of the large flowers. Now when we get ready to do these little buds, we're going to put our ink out here on one of the points. And you can angle your card and just very lightly go in to each of the buds and add a little bit of color. And like I said, I wanted to go for a really soft look on this, so I did put my ink on very softly, just very lightly. And the same with this one over here. All right, so once I got my ink, the magenta hue ink down on all the flowers, I'm going to come in next with the vivid chartreuse, and very similar, I'm going to take my triangle dauber, but instead of getting it on the center, I'm going to work from one of the points. Okay, for just about all of my leaves, I'm going to use a point. And you can kind of see how you can angle it down in there so you can just get that point right in there on the leaves. And again, we're going to go very softly. All right, you can kind of see how I'm doing that all the way around. All right, I think I got all the leaves. There we go. Okay. So once I got it to this stage, I'm going to do something that I pretty much only do this trick when I'm wanting to get kind of a softer look. But I decided to bring in some colored pencils. So I'm not sure what brand my colored pencils are, but any colored pencil will be fine. Now, I didn't use a watercolor pencil. These are just regular, just colored pencils. You could use Crayola if you wanted to. But I'm starting with a pink. I have a light pink and a dark pink on this particular one, but I'm going to use this darker pink, but really any color, colored pencil in pink that you have would work for this technique. Now, all of my flowers on the different layers of the flowers where the little lines come out to show the shading, that's where I'm just going to trace those lines with my dark pink pencil. And I'm not going to do this to all of them, so you don't have to watch me, but I wanted you to see how I did this. Now, when I show you my finished one, of course, I did this to all of them. But pretty much just all the way around, I traced every single layer with this dark pencil. And then for my flower buds, wherever I thought there should be shadow, I added some shadow with my colored pencil. Okay, so let's see if the camera will cooperate. If I move it up closer, does that do it? No, it's really not focusing. Let's see here. Okay, can you see what a difference that makes between this one and this one just by adding that little bit of pencil? All right, so then I did the same thing with the green, and I'm going to use my darker green, but really any green that you have will work just fine. And the same on the leaves, just wherever I thought there should be shadow, I added some pencil marks. And I just did that to all of them. Then some of my vines, I added a little bit of pencil around the buds where those leaves come up and around the buds. I just added a little bit of my pencil. I'll do this one right here too for you. See that? Now, after I added my pencil, if I thought that it needed a little bit of kind of buffer, I just came back with my dauber and lightly went over to just add a little bit of blending on top of that. It doesn't really change the pencil at all, but it adds a little bit of ink maybe on top of where you penciled that kind of just blends it out, and you don't notice that's been added with pencil. But that's how I went about getting this kind of soft look on all of my flowers. All right, so that's just another way that you can color up these frames. I know that we've used ink, we've used markers, we've used watercolor. So now we're also showing how you can bring in just a couple colored pencils and get a different look. Oh, and I will go ahead and quickly show you on this flower. Same thing. I just started at the base and just added that dark pink in there with my pencil to get that look. And that's all I did. So, all right. So once we get this done, you can go ahead and die cut. We're going to die cut this one, and we're going to die cut the center out of this. Now, I did ink this. I didn't show you, but I did add the chartreuse ink to the leaf over here as well. So once we get those die cut, we're going to have this right here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get out our shaping mat. This comes from the Deluxe Flower Shaping Kit. If you are new to Heartfelt creation and wondering, what you need to get started, this is a must-have. It comes with everything you need to mold and shape your flowers, which is kind of a staple with Heartfelt creation. We love our flowers around here. All right, so I'm just going to use kind of a medium tip. Excuse me, I'm getting out of the camera. Here we go. And we're just going to turn this over. And on the back side of each of these flowers, we're just going to make a circular motion. And the same with all the leaves. Basically, you're just going to make a gentle circular motion on the back side. I'm going to use a little bit bigger tip on these bigger areas, but we're just adding a little bit of dimension to our flowers here, just so they're not perfectly flat. All right. All right, so once we've got that done, we're going to do the same to our flower here, just a little bit into the leaves, and there we go. That's all we need to do for these. All right, so wasn't that fast and easy to just stamp this and color it? I think maybe 10 minutes would all it would take to now have our beautiful pieces ready for our card. So let's go ahead and set this aside, and we are ready to do some die cutting. Now, like I said, we're going to do a lot with our brand new heart die. So let's get a piece of Deluxe Silver, the Lux Silver, and we are going to start with the outer piece of the heart die. And when you look at it, it's got this bottom half that comes up, and there's some curls right here. It's actually going to be easier to show you from the back side. So on the back side, over here on the side where the dots go up the side, those last two big dots, that's where we're going to lay it down. We want it to fit on our paper here, but we're only going to die cut up to that little swoop that's right above this dot. You see that? So that is the part that we need to die cut. Now, while we have that in this spot, we're also going to take our love, the word, this curly little word love, and you're going to place it right in here, and you can go ahead and die cut that as well. Okay, so once you have it like this, and you can go ahead and die cut that. And that is going to give you this piece right here. All right, and this is what we're going to use to kind of add some flourish around our beautiful heart on our card. So once you have this, go ahead and set that aside. Now, while you have your Lux Silver out, for some reason that word's not coming quickly to my mind, but it's the Lux Silver that we're using today. You're going to cut a frame that is 5 by 7. Now, I cut the center out of my 5 by 7 frame, and that's the piece I use to cut this from. So this fits right down in there. So if you cut this the right size, you can actually do this whole card by just using like a half sheet of your silver, of your deluxe chrome paper. So if conserving your paper is something you like to do, that's a trick for you. If not, you can go ahead and just cut your frame and leave it solid. You don't have to cut this piece out. But that will be all of our, whoops, I almost forgot our little boy, but this will be all of your deluxe silver pieces when we're done. So you can go ahead and set those aside. The next thing we're going to do is a sheet of just white paper, and this is just white cardstock. I believe this is an 80-pound cardstock. But out of our heart-shaped die, and I'm sorry, I'm calling that by the wrong, whoa, what happened here? Whoa, okay. My camera went all blurry. I'm sorry. I think that's because of the white paper. So I'll just show you on my desk, but you're going to be die cutting that from white paper. But that is called, it's called the decorative heart die. I keep calling it just the heart die, but it is called decorative heart. Okay, so you're going to cut this combination out of your white paper. Woo. And that's going to give you this beautiful piece right here. It's hard for me to say what my favorite part of this collection is, but I really love this piece right here. It is so pretty. All right. Okay, so once you get that out, we're also going to bring in our majestic swirl frame. All right, and we're going to die cut this piece right here in white. So out of your one sheet of white paper, you're going to have this right here out of your sheet of white. And that's going to give you these two pieces here. And we have a couple more that we're going to go ahead and die cut. You're going to take your love word and you can die cut that out of here, out of the thing, or you can try to, we're going to cover this up, so it's okay if you want to die cut it right there, or if you can fit it in kind of in and around here, that's fine too. The last thing we're going to die cut from here is a piece from the album tags and accent dies. So the album tags and accent dies came out quite a while ago, but if you notice in the paper pad, there's always this pretty little shape that are in some of the tags. So this, we're going to cut us a white frame using this piece right here. And that's going to give you this right here. So there are your white pieces that you will need to die cut. And you should be able to get all of that out of one sheet of paper. All right, so once you get all these die cut, we can go ahead and set those aside with our other pieces until we're ready to start constructing our card. Now today, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but we're just making a regular 5x7 card. So this is just a 5x7 card, scored, and this is going to easily fit in an envelope. Now this new collection has a lovely paper pad. I love paper pads that include black. I just think black is a stunning look on cards. Now I didn't use it on today's card, but on my next one that I'm going to be doing next week, we're really going to bring in some of these black details, which I just think is so fun. So the pieces we're going to be using today is this lovely one right up here that's kind of variegated in its color. Then we're going to use a little corner from this one right here and a little bit from this one right here. And then this piece right here is where we're going to die cut our inner frame. So I'll show you that next. Okay, so here's that sheet of paper, and you have two choices. If you want to, you can cut this one out and use that. And that is what I used in our the sample that I have. I'll show you that on the inside. I did decorate the inside of this card, and that's right there. And then today I'm actually going to use this one. And then of course you also have this one. So you can take your pick of which one of these you'd like to use and go ahead and die cut that using the inside frame of this piece. All right. So that, like I said, I'm using this one today, but you can pick whichever one you'd like, and we can set that aside. Now, out of our dark, very dark piece that I showed you, we're going to go ahead and cut that. And that's using this piece right here without the decorative part. We're just making ourselves a base. So we'll go ahead and cut that out. And then from the other 2 sheets of paper, we're going to cut ourselves some frames. So this one is an 1/18 of an inch smaller all the way around than your 5x7. So basically, rather than working 5/8 and 7/8 and things like that, I just cut it to 5x7 and then trim off an 1/18 of an inch on both sides. So that's how I do it. And then for this piece, you're going to cut this piece to 5 1/4 by 3. So we've got 5 1/4 by 3, and that's going to fit inside our frame. All right, so now that we have all of our pieces, we are ready to construct our card. So tell me in the chat, do you like to make and send Valentines? Yes, good morning, Tina. It's so good to see you today. And oh, yes. Oh, Kirsten says she's going to get the I Want It All straight away. Is that going to be a Christmas? I don't blame you. That's great. I always buy myself a Christmas present too, and I promise you it is always crafty. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get our pieces started here. If I can find all of mine. What did I do with my card base? Here it is. Now let me make sure my card base is opening the right way. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and glue down our silver piece here. I use the gold so often that every time I use the silver, I have to struggle not to say Lux Gold because I love the gold. I use it often, and I get tongue-tied. So that's my hesitation. Every time I try to say silver, my brain wants to say gold. Now for this piece, if you would like, you can go around the edges with the magenta hue. I did do that on my original. I'm not going to do it here. I think this card would be pretty also if you wanted to turn it over, and that would bring in your black. But for today, I'll stick to my original design and we'll use the other side. Okay. There we go. Got a little bit of glue on my silver, but we'll go ahead and glue this down. All right, now for this piece right here, I'll move this aside. We're going to take this and we're going to glue it inside. Now, if you want to, you can also go around this piece in the magenta hue. We're only using 3 inks today, the olive to stamp in, the magenta hue, and the vivid chartreuse. Okay. Okay, so once we get this piece on, the next thing we're going to do is add some foam onto the back. Now, if you're going to be mailing your card, one thing you can do to help it go through the mail without getting damaged is to add, you know, a really solid piece of foam back here. So I'm going to cut a pretty long strip of my foam, and I'm going to put that right back here. All right, now I also have some foam that is already cut into strips. Now this foam is black, but it really doesn't matter. The main thing I want to tell you about is if you want it to be sturdier going through the mail, the more foam you add, the better. Now for this piece, if you wanted to, you could even take some rectangle foams and cut it where it's solid. Now, before we add this on, we're going to do something else to it. I probably should have done this before the foam, but it'll work either way. I'm going to get out my block here and add some of my glue here to my block. And I'm going to take our 2 white pieces here, and we're going to add some glitter. Now today I'm using the crystal glitter. If you had a pink glitter, you could do that, but we're just going to add this glue around the edges here using a piece of our foam. This is, I believe they're the Hydra Sponge foam, and we're just going to add that glitter on there. This just adds a little bit of sparkle and shine, and you can never have too much sparkle and shine, right? There we go. I can't wait to see what all of you do with this beautiful collection, because you are all so creative. I always enjoy going through Facebook. Those of you that post your creations, thank you so much. It inspires all of us to see what you make, and it's just very fun. Thank you for doing that. All right, so once we get some glitter on this piece, we're going to do the same for this piece over here. Same way, you're just gonna dab that on there and sprinkle it with some glitter. I don't know if that glitter shows up so well on camera, but it really is a nice touch on these two pieces. All right, so once we get that done, set this piece aside, but we can go ahead and take the foam off and put this piece on our card. All right. Now, once we get our base card to this point, let's set it aside, and we're going to make our pretty embellishment with the heart. So we will need, let's see here, these pieces, and I'm looking for my chrome love. I don't know what I've done with it. Hold on 1 second. I'm sure it's here. I've just buried it under something. All right, it's going to turn up here in a second. Nope, I don't know what's done with it. We may just have a white one, or I'll have to die cut another chrome one. So once we get to this point, we're going to take, oops, this one we don't need. We're going to take this piece right here, and you're going to glue it down so that the point is about right here. Now you can see that these two edges, you see how these two corners are sticking up in the way? We're going to cut those off, okay? All right, now you see we could, if we put it up like this, it wouldn't fit on our card, and therefore it wouldn't fit in our envelope. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring that down so that your heart is, move that so you can see, so that your heart is touching these little pieces right here. Okay, and while we're holding it together, we're just going to take our scissors and cut around that little piece right there. So we're preserving this pretty little piece right here, but then we're going to take our scissors and go underneath our heart and just cut off that corner. See what I did there? All right, that's how we're going to make our piece here. So you're going to do the exact same. Oh, there's the word love. There it is. It was hiding amongst the curlicues of our heart. I'm so glad I found that. Look at that. He's totally tangled up in the curlicues. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. Here he is. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing to this other side. You'll take your scissors and just cut around the corner there to separate that pretty little curl there. You see that? We're going to preserve the curl, and then we're just going to take our scissors and cut off that corner. So this is the look you're going to want to have when you're done with this step. Okay. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead, just add some glue on our chrome piece here. And we can go ahead and put our heart down, and whoops, there we go. Okay. Now we're going to take our pretty white piece, and you're going to add that right on top. Now I'm not using foam under any of these pieces, but I do use foam under the whole thing once we get our embellishment made here. And we're going to place this just right on top. Sorry, did I put my head in the camera? I noticed I sometimes forget. There we go. Okay. Now for our word love, we're going to layer our white and our silver, and we're going to put the silver on top. I really liked doing this on this particular card because it kind of tied in our pretty silver with the rest of the card. You know, it just kind of brought that silver piece into the whole design. I just, when I had the word in white, I didn't like it as well, but once I layered it and made the word love in silver, I thought that just really finished it off. So here we have our embellishment made, and we're really ready to add that to our card. So before we add it, we're going to turn it over, and same thing, we want to really put our foam on here very well. And I'm going to use a big piece of foam up there. And these are just some pieces that I had previously die cut out of a solid piece of foam. I'm just going to use those to kind of fill in where I need it here. Another piece right there. And then one last piece. Does it fit? No, too big. Okay. And then one last piece right here. And like I said before, the better you put your foam, the better that's going to go through the mail. All right, so when you are going to mail something through the mail, don't be stingy with your foam. That's kind of the tip of the day. Okay. All right, so let's bring our card back, make sure it's opening the right way, and we're going to add this pretty heart embellishment that we just made right to the center. Here we go. One way to find the center is this little point right here. It goes right in the center of the heart, and that kind of helps you to get that placed right in the center of this frame. All right, so if you act in the next couple of days, you can get the I Want It All on this Friendship Heart collection. The I Want It All only lasts for a few days, so while supplies last, you can pick that up, and that is already bundled so that you get a 10% discount on the whole collection. And that can only be done right when it first releases. Usually that is gone by Saturday. So the other thing, if you are an insider member, you can get an extra 20% discount on the entire collection on top of that 10% that it's already bundled. So definitely, if you like to get the entire collection when they first release, you are going to want to take advantage of being an insider member because you save that 20% and you also get free shipping. Now, on a lot of our new collections, we will have a 2-hour class that is offered. Now, it's not on all of them, but a lot of them. They have a 2-hour class that will give you lots of ideas and different techniques by using the collection. Those classes are normally $30 a piece, but if you are an insider member, you get those classes for free. So you've saved your 20%, you get your free shipping, and then you can get a free class on the new collection that you just bought. So it really is a good value to be an insider member, especially if you love getting the whole collection, which if you're like me, you just have to have it all. So you can kind of see the natural places where this piece can be snipped. And you can see right there how I snipped off this corner piece. We're going to do that again on the other side. Okay, it's just one little snip. There we go. And now we have our corner piece, which I think you could, if you were making several, you could put them on the corners of a card. For ours today, we're going to place this one right down here at the bottom of the heart. And I'm just going to add this with a little bit of foam. Get this strip right here. Now, you don't have to add tons of foam to these pieces because of where they go on the card. They're not going to get smashed in the mail. They're going to travel just fine. And I'm just putting that point right down here. And now for our two corner pieces, we're going to do the same thing. Now, I think I actually switched them. I put this one on this corner and this one. Now, when it comes, it's glued together like this, but I'm going to switch them to put them on the different sides. I liked the way this piece kind of curled down more, and I wanted that on the outer edge instead of the inner edge. And I'm just putting my foam on this bigger part, and we're placing it not on the corner of the heart, but on the corner of the frame, so that this rose just kind of overlaps right there. Okay. Now, I thought this card would be, the design of this card would be lovely to be able to reproduce if you wanted to kind of mass produce and make many of them, because you can see how quickly it all came together. Okay, now for the front of my card, I did come in with my glitter one more time, and in all these places where the little baby's breath is, I added some glitter on those places as well. We're not going to do that right now because we want to make sure that we get to the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and take these two pieces that we have, and we can layer those up. Whoa, whoops, I dropped my piece. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to come in with our Happy Valentine's Day. Now I made this card a Valentine's Day card, which I know it's a little early for that, but that's okay. This set just needed a Valentine card. And we do have the Happy Valentine's Day stamp that comes in our new Friendship Sentiment set. But this card would be a lovely wedding card. You could put this in with a wedding gift, and on inside you could put best wishes or congratulations. It would also make a wonderful anniversary card. If you, in here, you put happy anniversary. So there's lots of different things that you can use this collection for. It is not strictly a Valentine's Day. This could also be a birthday card. If you wanted to, you could leave the word love, but you could also put a sentiment out here for happy birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and use my magenta hue ink, and I'm going to test it once over here before yes, okay. Got a good impression. Now I've already pre-lined this up on my block so that I can hopefully get it straight. There we go. Perfect. I love the red rubber stamps, don't you? They just do such a great job. If you want to use a stamping tool, you can, to kind of be able to do it multiple times. But if you're wanting to just do a quick stamp, you can count on it to make a good impression. All right. I'm just laying my scissors here to hold my card open, and we are going to glue our Happy Valentine's Day inside. Try to get that centered. And the very last touch is we're going to take our pretty rose. I think on my sample I put it on that side, but on this one I'm going to put it on the other side. All right, there we go. And in, I think less than 30 minutes, we created a one-of-a-kind Valentine card. There you go. And before I have you go, I did want to show you how this is easily going to go into an envelope. Now you do just have to make sure your little curlicues don't get caught as you're going in the flaps, but other than that, it slides right in there. And it's easily, you can press on it, and because of those nice foam that we put in there, this is going to mail with no problem. And it's really not very heavy. I don't know that it would take, it might take one extra stamp, but maybe not. So there you go. We have made our first Valentine card for the new year. I'm going to go ahead and switch our camera back. All right, well, do give me some hearts in the chat if you enjoyed making this card. It is a lovely collection that you're going to have so much fun with. And like I said, that decorative heart piece, there are so many ways to use it. We are actually going to use it some more next week in my card that we're going to be doing next week. So I hope you will join me on that one as well. And we're going to look at some other ways to use this collection. So I hope you're all having a lovely day wherever you are. And I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.